Welcome back. Now with a look at your 5-day weather forecast, here's Natalia Booya.
Well, don't blame the messenger when I say today is not looking good. It's wet, cloudy, and cold with a temperature of 15 degrees. Let's have a look at the rest of the week. By tomorrow morning, the rain should be clearing out, but it'll still be cloudy with a high of 18 and a low of 8. Friday's looking good. We'll get temperatures in the 20s and see a lot of sunshine. Saturday's the same, but a little bit cooler with a high of 16 and a low of 6, which is normal for this time of year. And we can be thankful for a temperature of 18 degrees this Thanksgiving Sunday. Now, today may not be ideal weather, but at least we have the rest of the week to look forward to. That's it for your forecast. Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Natalia. And now we'll turn to our international news. Toxic waste from this week's chemical spill in Hungary is making its way toward the Danube River today as emergency crews struggle with the cleanup. Red sludge from a burst reservoir at a refinery southwest of Budapest flooded more than 7 towns, killing 4 people and injuring many more. A state of emergency has been declared in 3 counties as the cleanup continues. Hungarian environmental officials say the sludge, a mixture of water and mining waste, is the worst chemical spill in the country's history.
At least 26 people have been killed and over 34,000 people have left their homes after flooding ravaged parts of central Vietnam. The region, which is often affected by flooding and tropical storms at this time of year, has received 130 centimeters of rain since Friday. The flooding has also caused landslides, cutting off major roads. The Army is using helicopters, boats to provide food and move people to safety. More rain is expected in the territories south of Hanoi.
Secret talks are underway today between the Afghan government and Taliban officials. That's according to unnamed sources in the Washington Post. Sources say the goal of the talks is to find a way out of the war in Afghanistan. This is said to include allowing some Taliban members in government and establishing a timeline for the withdrawal of U.S. and NATO troops. President Hamid Karzai has not commented on the meeting, but has said in the past that he is open to talks with the Taliban.
The U.S. Supreme Court will hear arguments today to determine whether members of the Westboro Baptist Church had the right to protest at the funeral of a Marine killed in Iraq. The Independent Baptist Church believes God is punishing America for tolerating homosexuality by killing U.S. soldiers in Iraq. The Marine's father, Albert Snyder, will be asking the court to reinstate a $5 million penalty against the church, which was previously overturned. A Maryland court had ruled the signs used to protest contained language protected by the First Amendment. The case before the Supreme Court today will look at the family's right to grieve in private versus the church's right to freedom of speech.
Researchers have discovered a previously undocumented language in northeastern India. Koro is spoken by only about 1,000 people belonging to the Akha tribe and is part of the Tibeto-Burman family of languages. Researchers say finding new languages is not uncommon, and northeastern India is known as a hotspot for linguistic diversity. This newest finding brings the number of languages documented worldwide to a total of 6,910.
And now here's Kyle Hall with your sports highlights.
I'm Kyle Hall with your sports news. The Hawks golf team is running away from the competition at the OCAA Championship in Barrie. Humber carries a staggering 23-stroke lead into the final round, which is currently underway. The Hawks sit at 17 over par, with their closest competition, Durham College, sitting at 40 over. Humber golfer Mark Hoffman starts the day as the overall leader at 1 under par. The first round of the MLB playoffs begins today with 3 games on the schedule. Toronto native Joey Votto and the Cincinnati Reds will take on the Philadelphia Phillies. It's the Reds' first playoff berth since 1995. Phillies ace Roy Halladay will make his playoff debut, and Edison Valquez gets the nod for the Reds. The Minnesota Twins are at home to the defending World Series champs, New York Yankees. The Twins have lost 3 straight playoff series to the Yanks. CC Sabathia takes the mound for New York, while Minnesota will start Francisco Liriano. And it's a battle of the Southpaws in Tampa Bay. Potential AL Cy Young winner David Price taking on Rangers lefty Cliff Lee, with the first pitch just minutes away. Let's jump to NBA news. Dwayne Wade limped off the court after only 3 minutes of play in Miami's preseason home opener against Detroit last night. Wade left the game clutching his right hamstring, Miami head coach Eric Spoelstra says the injury isn't serious and will be reevaluated next week. The Heat went on to win the game 105-89 with Chris Bosh and LeBron James combining for 38 points. It's a homecoming for two-time MVP Steve Nash, and the Phoenix Suns taking on the Raptors tonight in Vancouver as both teams kick off their preseason. The Raptors' preseason continues on Sunday in Boston against the Celtics. The Humber men's volleyball team play their first preseason game against a college team tonight. After trouncing U of T, Guelph, and York University, the reigning OCAA champs take on the Sheridan Bruins. Hawks setter Derek Quinn says, going into the season, Humber's the team to beat.
Well, we're definitely the bullseye for a lot of teams to come hit, so they're going to come to our gym, we're going to go to their gym, they're going to play their best game because they know that they have to against us, and I would hope that they respect us as much as we respect them.
That's it for sports. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Kyle. After the break, Crystal Burney will have your entertainment headlines.
Coming up in entertainment, Trump as president, Emma Stone in Spider-Man, and thriller moves hit the rice fields of Taiwan. All that and more after the break.